Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. I'm Ellen Campbell with Campbell's Creations. And this morning I'm coming to you live showing y'all my new weaving loom that will help me to make rag rugs, and I can make camping mats or homeless sleeping mats to kind of have a barrier between them and the ground. And I have gotten some done on it already, which is this part here, and I'm continuing to work on it because it is at least 6 feet long. And if anyone is any taller than that still will help them and benefit them because it creates a barrier on the ground where they would camp. And it gives you that over-under motion, or that over-under effect. But all you have to do is loop it around these pegs. This is called a peg loom. And I get to do it right here in my comfortable spot. I don't have to go anywhere. But if I wanted to, I could set up a tent outside in the backyard and sit under the shade tree and continue to do this. Now, I have shared videos how I prepared my, this is called Plarn, and I cut my bags into 3 strips. And the reason for that is because if you cut it into 4 strips, you have a weak Plarn. If you pull too tight, you'll tear it apart. Oh, excuse me. And the reason for me cutting it into 3 is because it gives it a little bit more strength. And I would rather have a strong mat than to have a mat that could easily fall apart or pull apart. So I created me, I think I have used 2, 3, 4, 5. I had about 6 rows, and I have about 3 or 4 still in the bucket along with this one. And I make them into a big size ball like that. And I have my grays with the gray, my brown with the brown, the white with the white. If you have yellow, put the yellow with the yellow. And as you go through making your mat, you can place those colors where you would like them to be. But today, I'm using the brown right now. And I wafted my loom with Plarn as well, using the white, the gray, and maybe a yellow or 2. You can mix the colors up if you like, but I thought I could get a better design, you know, by keeping the colors separate. And I will be making my balls of Plarn ahead of time before I start the weaving process, because it's better if you have them already in a ball. And the reason I do it like this, when I lay down and I sits up, I'm getting a workout. So I'm like getting a double benefit out of this. And it's mostly all day long. Lay down, sit up. Lay down, sit up. So it will help me to tighten some muscles in my stomach area. Then I get to the end, I turn around that last peg and cross back over. You just continue the process. And I use a 5-gallon bucket to keep my balls in. That way when I'm threading my loom like this, the ball just easily unroll for my benefit. You can move as quickly or as slow as you would like. And I use my index finger to hold it down to the base as I go along. And then the closer I get on this end, I use the other index finger to hold it so I can place the plarn where it needs to go. And it helps it hold it down in place. And you have to pay close attention. You don't want to skip one of your pegs because you will see that skip into the mat. This will be my first mat, so I'm bound to have a few discrepancies in it because this is my first one. Even though how you try to be, no matter how you try to stay on course with it, something will grab your attention. And you may just miss a stitch or a loop. This shoulder's kind of hurting. But when you want something done, you work through it. When I do it in the air, that means I have to it's only when I get to this end it creates, I have to lay down a little bit to get everything to line up. And I keep going and going back and forward, up and down the peg loom until I feel it to my shortest peg. Okay, excuse me a minute. Let me step to the restroom right quick. Okay, thank y'all for waiting on me and excusing me. I have chronic sinuses and all my videos I sometimes have to take breaks. And as you can see, this peg here is my shortest I have on here. But eventually I'm probably going to go back and readjust these short ones to bring them up with some of the taller ones so I can get more on a loom. I'll be able to fill it up all the way up to here instead of stopping down here. And you just take your time and work these through the pegs in this weave process. Now it's time to lay down and get it weaved. Come back, you're just crossing them. Okay. And you repeat the process. You just keep repeating it. Wrap round, back over. Or it's over, under effect. Over, under. And let me zoom you in a little bit if I can, so you can see a little bit closer. Let me see here. Oh, it won't let me zoom in. Okay. I can't get it to zoom. This shoulder is really bothering me today. It's hurting pretty bad, y'all. I'm gonna try to hang in here if it don't make me nauseated too much. But this is a repeating process until I filled it up to the shortest loom. Even on your sick days, if you can just lay here and do this, you still can be creative. And I have it on my bed where I can lay down and do this. It just, sometimes the pain just be unbearable. Excuse me, my sinuses and my shoulder pain. I wanted to share this with y'all so badly, but if this shoulder is not going to allow me to do it, I would just show it to y'all another day. Because this pain is terrible, y'all. It's terrible. I'll leave my email in the description of this video. And I will also leave my support link for Cash App. So if you like to support my channel you're more than welcome, especially for the ones that, you know, have done so in different ways. I do appreciate it. And if you would like to save bags and mail me some bags, I would love that too. That's a support as well. Plus, when I'm in the creative mode and I can't really do much, I can always lay here and weave. This part of some of the stuff I be going through, I didn't want to really share, but I want to show y'all how this works. And I gotta slide it up. Okay, y'all can see I'm at the top of this loom now. So when I get to the top of the loom, the way I do this, I extend my Plarn and I wrap it around the end of my frame here just a few times to hold it. And I have to work loose this first peg. That's how I'm sliding it down. You get your peg out. Sometimes the first two come up, but I go ahead and I use one of my index finger on my other hand, and you pull it through. I have the whole peg here. Pull it through, keeping the front facing the front, and put it back in the hole. Pull it through, put it back in the hole. Pull it through, put it back. This is how you advance it to your warp. And when I warped it this with the Plarn, I used one of the extra dowels I had to go through the end loop. And you still have to be careful when you do it like that too, because some of the Plarn will come off, but majority of it stays on. And I just work on advancing my Plarn. And you can use yarn with these as well. The big plushy yarn, you can use it and make a throw or a baby blanket with it. Just keep doing it like this. And I made this frame myself. And I do plan on making a few more to have on hand to either get some help or maybe sell one or two reasonable. The only thing about it would be the shipping. Now, if I could find a way to add hinges so I can cut it down into maybe 12 inches pieces where it just folds out, that would be nice, because it'll be easy storage then. I could put the frame in a box and I can put the pegs in a box as well. And when I drill my holes, I drill them down 1 inch, because this is a 2x4 I'm using. You don't want to go all the way through the board. And I did learn a few things while making this, so my next one will be a little bit improved. You have to have sandpaper to do hand sanding. Uh-oh. Let's see which one popped out. This one on this side. Okay. Kind of reminds you of the domino game. But you stand up your little minions or your blocks, and these last three on this end. This one on the end always be a little tight. Okay. Can y'all see this? This is the feed here. This one popped out because that needs a little bit more slack. But this is what I'm working on. This is how I get it here. I can't really close in on it because all my pegs is popping out. And I have to put them back in order. Both of these are white Plarn. And the last one is a white Plarn. So now I'm ready to go again. I just unwrap my Plarn off the frame here. And I use my finger and I hold the first row at the base to go around the pegs. And I takes my time. I'm not just flying through because I'm in a big hurry or something, no. Then I transfer my index finger. I hold it with the index finger because it really helps me to keep my line with a little tension. See, I skipped one. I have to come back. There it is. Go around. Cross over. If you're watching this on something that will let you zoom in, go ahead and zoom in so you can see up close what I'm doing here. Because this will make a beautiful, 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 it's over, under, over. Make a beautiful baby blanket doing this. And I love to sew and quilt, but there's time my health body issues won't let me sew a quilt during climate changes and weather events. Like even now, I'm having such pain, doing this. But when you don't want to just be sitting idle, you want to be creative, you can just continue to be creative. Use what you have. If you don't have yarn to make the blanket, start collecting you some blue jeans and cut them into some smaller strips. The smallest I would recommend cutting them is a 1/2 inch strip, and you can do that on your cutting mat or with a rotary cutter, or you can use your cutting mat with the Hercules cutter. But you know that you need to mark out your lines on the wrong side of the fabric first, I use a marker. You can use an ink pen because then the lines are less visible. Just use what you have. You can use a number 2 pencil as well. Mark out your lines, measure them off a 1/2 inch, and take that Hercules cutter and line them up and just go zoom, 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 zoom. You can have 50 layers of blue jean pants cut open with all the seams cut out, and just lay them out and then cut your stripping. You would get a lot done cutting it that way too. Now, I did try using the Hercules on cutting the Plarn, and I mean, it worked. It worked, but you have to be careful because it will get caught, hung up, and you will have to cut pretty quick with it. So I recommend using some good scissors. I use some good scissors. I use some used bags, and I use some new donated bags. Or you can just order you some bags from Amazon. Amazon has the thank you bags that you can get in white, and they have a bunch of multi of colors you can get. If you want to do a mat in blue and yellow, you can do that mat. And I like the idea that you can use these as camping mats as well. And if you're going to be camping outside and sleeping on the ground, I also recommend that you make you some mosquitoes or just bug spray that keeps other wildlife animals back or away. And you can make you a gallon bucket of it, depending on how long you're going to be gone. It's a mixture of citrus acid with baking soda and garlic powder. And the rest is water. You mix it with the water and shake it. It keeps mosquitoes away. It probably would keep snakes away too. I'm not sure. I haven't tested it. But it'll be a good item to spray in your area. You're going to be tenting it. It do not kill the ground. It just only keep away the insects, the bugs. And you spray it pretty good. If you're going to be camping for a while, just get you a nice 5-gallon bucket with a lid. Or get you 2 5-gallon buckets with the lid and just make it and take it. Take it with you. That way it's already together. You can even add spigots on those 5-gallon buckets. So you can easily refill up your spray can. And that's just something I thought about. Because a lot of people get mice in their campers as well. You know, with the garlic in it, if you spray it in your camper, it's going to give your camper a little musty effect. So, I recommend you use the Irish Spring soap to keep the mice away. You shred it up with like cheese. The soap, shred it up like cheese and put it in. If you don't have anything made, just put it in some socks. You can use some footy socks and just tie a knot on the end and just place them all over your camper. That'll keep the mice back. They don't like stuff that smells good. They want to make it smell terrible. For keeping your food, put it in jars, or you don't just have to use canning jars as well. You can take a jar, long as it have a secure lid on the top, and you put something in the bottom that absorbs moisture for the things you want to keep dry. Like if you want to have a big jar of sugar or something, you go ahead and make you a mesh and fill that mesh with rice and line the bottom of that jar with that layer of rice. You can make a couple of them depending on how big your container is. And throughout your sugar, you can have layers of contained rice in there to absorb all moisture. You can do the same with your flour. Put that in there to keep the moisture out. And with the rice keeping the moisture out, that's pretty good. Now I heard if you want to camp and have a lot of rice with you, you can dry can your rice. And what it means to dry can your rice is to get you some mason jars and fill them all with rice and put them on a sheet pan and heat your oven to about, I say 200 degrees, which you get it nice and warm, and set the sheet with the jars of rice inside the oven and let them stay there about an hour to seal the lids and compress the jars, and that will keep the little black bugs away and out of your rice. And I learned that from my good friend Miss Ellen Pankey. We call her Auntie Ellen. That's a good tip she gave me, and I'm just sharing it with y'all, which is amazing for rice. A lot of other dry goods, you just want to figure out a way to keep them dry. You can even, well, no, you can't dry can your rice you put in your jar for moisture barrier. But you want to keep the black bugs out of your goods, your food. You want to learn to save and can and preservatives. Preservatives is the best way to go. Like if you going to be living in a camper, find you a person that love to preserve food in jars, mason jars, and just purchase you 2 cases of jelly, 1 case of meat, whether it's chicken or beef or whatever you desire. Go ahead and purchase your meat. Get your cases, because when times get tight and tough, you can go back to the canned food and create meals from it. Create meals and feed your whole family, because you basically don't have to use a whole jar of meat to create a meal. You can use a half a jar and make a soup. Something that's going to fill the whole house up. You won't be hungry. You won't be sick, because you know, eating good and eating well. Along with that soup, you know, you might can harvest you some vegetables or something to make a salad out of. And salad don't mean you always gotta have lettuce. You can use spinach. You can use broccoli. Different things. See y'all how fast I done filled this loom back up? And by my shortest peg, I won't be able to go any further, so I'm going to have to forward this to the warp. That make a skip. Okay. I'm talking, you really have to pay attention. And I just rolled so much across this end to hold it. And I placed that round there like that, and I know where I have to start once I forward this warp. And I worked on this a lot yesterday after I have so many balls and stuff that was ready. Let me show y'all. Okay, I forward this. Let me see if I can angle it down some. Okay, I forward this warp here. That's the one I just showed y'all how I forwarded. But I also have this I forwarded, and in between I have some more on the end here that I forwarded using the gray Plarn, which is nice. Those all are Walmart bags, the gray Plarn, and it's pretty easy to get it to slide down. It's pretty easy. I just haven't slid this all the way down to the neck. And before long, I'll be finished and done with this. And this is what I'm working on. This is what I was in a hurry to show y'all. Let me go back. Oh, excuse me, y'all. Oh, excuse me so much. I have chronic sinuses, y'all. And it ties into my TMJ, where it drains whatever inflammation I have going on in my upper body. It just drains out through my sinuses. It drains out, and I can tell it's inflammation because it's inflammation. Okay, let me get these first two up here. Okay. Slide that warp through, and the more I slide, that means eventually these areas I have the gaps in, the more I pull on this warp and get it to slide to me, oh boy, the more, ooh, y'all hold on a minute here.